Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Thanks for everyone taking the time to join us today. My name is Tim Bagonis. I'm CMO here at Dtools, and joining me today will be Seth Enos, Product Manager for System Integrator. Some housekeeping. If you haven't joined us for a webinar before, there is a control panel to the right of your screen. You'll see a questions panel, which we will use at the end of the presentation, but feel free as we're going through the presentation, if you have questions, go ahead and feel free to put those in there and we'll do our best to answer them throughout the presentation. And if the questions are not answered, we will have time at the end for Q&A. And as always, if you need more real estate to view, you can go ahead and click on the right arrow in the control panel and that will give you more screen real estate. So a little bit of what we'll cover today. I'll provide a brief overview of Dtools and our System Integrator solution. We will do a demonstration of the new features and capabilities in SI version 15. And like I said, we'll have Q&A at the end of this session and throughout the presentation through the questions bar. This webinar will be recorded and distributed to all registrants and attendees following the webinar. All right, so some background on those of you who may not be familiar with Dtools. We were founded in 1998 by Adam Stone, who was himself a systems integrator and pioneered a process of tying data to drawings. Now, he did this to streamline his own processes, and then he realized that he had a solution that really could benefit other companies in the industry. And so Dtools became a software provider. Since then, we've grown to almost 7,000 companies who use our solutions worldwide, primarily in the residential and commercial AV, commercial security, HVAC industries. And we continue to build on this solution. Obviously, we've got version 15 that we've just released. And we take pride in the fact that you know, we've won multiple awards for the software, but also for our services. And that really just speaks to a commitment of trying to provide our customers with the best solution and service available in the industry. And we have a team that's been together for a very long time and committed to our customers' long-term success. So our flagship product, System Integrator, is a comprehensive solution that really can help streamline your entire business process. From estimations and proposals to detailed engineering drawings and documentation, through purchasing, installation, and ongoing service. It starts really with our product library. We have a data-driven solution, and Dtools provides an extensive and integrated product library of hundreds of thousands of SKUs from AV, security, networking, and IT suppliers. And this product information really provides everything that an integrator would need to be able to sell, specify, design, and ultimately install and service equipment for their solutions. So we provide information such as manufacturer, model number, descriptions, as well as recommended install times. And then we go deeper into engineering specifications such as dimensions, inputs and outputs, which can be used for engineering drawings. And then we also now provide dealer-specific pricing for hundreds of brands, which really saves a vast amount of research time and ensures that product information is current, specific, and up to date. It's really the core of our data-driven process. And on the sales side, SI offers powerful sales management capabilities from scope and budget through our mobile quote iPad app. It allows you to develop the project scope and budget, secure the job, and accept a project deposit or design retainer in that initial client meeting. And that information syncs directly into SI so that you can create a very detailed proposal organized by location and system. As you add products to your bill of materials, SI tracks the labor time and calculates a fully installed price, enabling you to generate fast, accurate, professional proposals, contracts, and other client-facing documentation. You can also create and present service plans, and we integrate directly with Great America and financing so that you can present your clients with AV as a service options and help you grow recurring revenues. On the engineering side, our unique capability to tie that bill of materials to industry-leading drawing platforms such as Visio and AutoCAD enables you to quickly generate line diagrams, plan views, elevations, and schematics by simply dragging and dropping from the bill of materials, or you can start with the drawing, start with the floor plan, and as you add items to the drawing, it automatically builds out the bill of materials. These drawings really help bring together the sales and engineering process, and then we can generate reports from those drawings. So from a schematic drawing, we can generate wire checklists, wire schedules, even generate wire labels for the entire job, ensuring that everybody's in sync between sales, engineering, and then field technicians. So project planning and execution takes that same information from the bill of materials and enables project managers to generate work orders. We've got Gantt chart capabilities, we've got customized checklists, and we have a very robust change order process so that we can account for project scope changes, make sure that we report those back to our clients, get those signed. And so we have a very solid workflow for tracking what happens to the job post-sale. We also integrate with a number of third-party applications, including QuickBooks, Salesforce, other ERP systems, and we have a robust business intelligence engine so that you can track KPIs, manage sales pipeline, and really measure the health of the business. So when the SI tool set is used in its entirety, it can really dramatically improve operational efficiencies and improve your bottom line results. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the new capabilities that we've added to version 15. As with every new release of the software, we're really focused on efficiency gains and adding new capabilities that help our customers achieve better project workflow, save time, and really improve the bottom line results. So we've created a concept of solutions within the software now, which really enables faster estimation and better client presentation for larger type of projects. What this really means is we can now combine products and packages along with room types so that you can really generate and dial in a solution. So let's say a conference room or a huddle space or a lecture hall. It could be made up of a number of products. It could be made up of a number of packages, and there could be a number of these throughout the project. And Seth is going to demonstrate this, but this is a really impactful way to organize information when you're working with your clients and putting together those larger opportunities. We've updated our mass update capabilities to now go across projects. So we can facilitate changes across projects, which really helps bulk change things such as project owner, if the sales rep changes, apply statuses to multiple projects, as well as update any custom fields across projects. Our new Project Wizard settings really help enforce standardization and enable our users to start setting required fields so that when you're starting a project, we need to make sure specific fields are filled in so that we can move forward, and really helps establish a standardization across the company, as well as enhancements to custom fields, not only adding more custom fields, but enabling you to order and filter and really just show what's most important as you move through projects. And then we've also introduced the concept of multitasking enabling multiple windows, multiple POs, multiple tasks to be open at one time. We understand that, it's really, nowadays, it's hard to work linearly. So we want to make it easy for our users to work the way they want to work. And, this is obviously just a few of the new features that we'll touch on, but as always, there's a number of many other workflow improvements that together add up to real productivity gains. So with that, I'm going to introduce Seth Enos, who's a product manager for SI, and he's going to walk you through a number of these new capabilities.
Thank you, Tim. I'm going to go ahead and give you a demonstration of the new features, of course. But first, as usual, I'm going to take you out to our documentation site, show you where you can find out about these new features in more detail. And that is our support.d-tools.com. So this is our support site. You notice the v15 is here. You should go to Administrator Guide, and there's the v15 release notes right here. And of course, as always, there's links to the actual documentation that is scattered throughout this big online book out there. So, okay, let's minimize that, and we'll take a look here at System Integrator. Now, again, some of you may be saying, wait, didn't they just release v14? And v15 is already here. I've gotten quite a few emails from our clients going, wait, when did this come out? So we released v15 the last week of December. It was a goal of ours to shorten our release cycles in the company for System Integrator from 6 to 8 month cycles sometimes down to 3 or 4 month cycles. More towards the 4, I think, is where we're going to be going with that. But we want to be able to more quickly respond to our clients' needs. Anyways, that's part of why it came out so fast. It was a goal of my boss, so his goals become my goals, and that's why we released it. And here it is, and it's got some great features in it. So this won't be as long as our last webinar, I promise you, because it was a shorter dev cycle. So let's get moving here, and I'm going to go straight over to the Projects tab here. Here we are in the Project Explorer, and one of the features Tim mentioned was the mass update. So I'm going to go ahead and select these and hit the mass update button. So this will allow you to quickly change certain fields for projects. We chose the most common ones that would make sense for doing a mass update. Status might be a big one. You may be going through and maybe quite a few projects have changed as you presented the proposals, for instance, or proposal presented. You might want to change that for all of these. Who it's assigned to, who the sales rep is, anything like that, and also custom fields. So everybody get ready to be shocked. I'm going to go to my custom fields, and whoa, where are they all? Well, that's one of the new features that we have here in the software. You can now pick and choose which custom fields display and what order they display in. So that's a really key thing here. So as you see here, I've got a list type here, job type with a drop down, and that's at the top here. We also added 20 more of these list types. We had 4, if I'm not mistaken, in v14. We added 20 more of these based on request. A lot of you seem to like the list type custom fields and wanted quite a bit more for projects out here as far as custom fields. So well, while I'm here, let's just go ahead and talk about that real quick. A little bit more. Here's the Manage Custom Fields form, and as you can see, I'm not viewing all of mine here even. When you hit the Add button now, what you're going to see is there's our 6 different types of custom fields that we have: text, long text, list, number, date, and Boolean. And we show you how many you have in use versus how many you have total here. So if you want to just add one to this list, let's say we wanted a date field here, and it's going to be last contacted, something like that. I can hit OK. That's going to go on my list here, and I might say, you know what, put that right under there, save and close it, and we'll move that into position for you so you get to pick the order of these. Now, these are the project custom fields that we're looking at because the feature I was showing here is mass update projects, but we also did this same feature set, the ability to choose which ones display and in what order for products and labor item custom fields as well. So that should help everyone clean up their list a little, because as we add these over time, like again, the request came in for 20 more lists, our numbers get out of sync, because we already had custom fields that existed there of a different type, and we're adding new ones at the bottom of the list. And it was getting crazy to the point where our users had to scroll down so far just to get to the list ones, because those were added last in the last few releases. So this is the way that you can fix that. It's how we added these features for you. And again, the move up, move down is very key here. And for the list types, you manage them here. Again, it's just a little bit different interface than you've seen in the past, but same functionality. So there you go. And that is the mass update. Okay. So another thing that we did was add new project required fields. So this has been a long time request, and we finally got it into one of our builds here. So let's take a look at this. Now you can also get to these settings in your control panel as well. But here we go. So now you can pick and choose which fields are required when your users are creating a project. So in this case, I might say I want the sales rep needs to be filled in, and my estimated close date should be filled in. I'll show you here. There's a contacts tab, which means there must be a primary. For the address fields, they just can't be blank or cannot be empty, because there's all those, obviously plenty of fields for addresses. And then custom fields, once again, you can pick and choose, and all you're going to see here are the ones that I've chosen to be active, including that date I just added. But maybe I'm going to require job type. So we'll go ahead and save that. And the next time, again, or any of your users go to create a project, they will have to add those required fields, or they will not be able to save the project. And I'll demonstrate that here in just a sec. Now, there are permissions behind that, by the way, of course, on who can and can't decide which fields are required. So you'll have to look at your users. Of course, administrators have all privileges, but for other users, it'll be something you'd have to add to their user permissions. Okay, so, well, I've got solutions to demonstrate coming up, so we might as well create a project, and that will demonstrate the new required fields as well. So we're going to create a project here. I'm certainly not going to fill in every field here, but I am going to pick a client from the list here, and we're going to go the or building. Okay, so there we go. Now, I chose to have certain fields required, as you saw, and there's a little asterisk now next to those fields. So there's the estimated close date over here, and that's what this little note up here is, that these are required fields. If I try to get to the next step, it's going to let me know. Not going to happen until I do this. So I'll assign a sales rep to this, and I will choose an estimated close date of a week from now. And so now, of course, you guys know the rest of these are, we go through the steps here. And, some complaints are like, well, what if I don't want to add locations right now? I don't want to add systems right now. I just want to start the job. For years now, you've been able to stop and save anytime you want. You don't have to add those things. But I will talk a little bit more about locations and systems coming up when we're talking about solutions. I did have to get through these steps, though, because I did require one of these last fields, the job type. We'll say it's commercial. So there we go. And then there's your custom field list in action, the ones that I've chosen to display. So we'll go ahead and save this project, and it's going to open. Okay. And again, it's pretty blank, it's pretty bare, and I did that on purpose. Normally, if you've seen my other videos, I'm very proper about locations and systems, but sometimes you don't know that. Sometimes you might have had just a quick meeting with a client. You understand there might be, there's 3 floors, I know that much, but I don't know the room names. I know how many conference rooms they want and how many huddle spaces they want, which are very good examples of solutions that I'm going to demonstrate, but I don't know what location they're in. So, I'll come back and talk more about that. Then I will assign these locations just because I feel like I have to. I just have to. So here's a project editor. First, though, let's talk about solutions. And I'm going to take you to what they are and describe them a little bit. Then I'll show you them in action. So a solution is another type of package. The generic name package that we use here, a grouping of items. So when we go to manage packages, what, 2 versions ago, we split out. We used to just have packages in the software. Then we created allowances and bundled cable as different types of packages in the software with different rules behind them. We now have added solutions. And you can see up here, there's just another type of quick filter where if I just want to see my solutions, I can do that. Yes, you can still do it with the quick filter and see multiple things at a time. But if you just want to see one type, you can just tap these buttons and go to them. And what you see here is my solutions list. So what is a solution? Oh, I mean, how is this different than a package, right? Well, for the first time ever, you can add packages to packages because a solution is a package. So I'll show you. Let me open this one. This is the one we're demonstrating today. So I pull this up and it looks just like a package, right? The price tab. Yep, it's the price here, just like other packages. It's based on all of the items in the package. And then a normal package, when you get to this tab, will just have add products and add labor. This one has the add packages button as well. So for years, we've had the request I want to be able to take this package and put them together and create one big package out of it. But I still like them to have them separate for when I need to have them separate. But sometimes I want them to be combined into one bigger, what we're calling a solution. And don't think a solution has to be huge, mind you. It doesn't have to be for these large commercial jobs doing big conference rooms and huddle spaces. I mean, it really can be anything that you need multiple packages. That's all you have to think of it as. So if you're saying, well, I probably won't use these because my business isn't that large. Now, don't think like that. It's a package that can have packages in it. So you can have a wire assembly package, a networking package, base package, and a rack kit package in there, and all together, and be able to add those very quickly to a job. Just again, drag and drop like you would a normal package. Just a lot more stuff can be added at once, and it's a lot more organized. Now, by default, and you'll see this throughout as I demonstrate this, we summarize these. By default, when you create these, that summarizing client reports is checked. The intent is not to give your clients a shopping list, which we've always done with packages. We always recommend, the point of a package, you can collapse those when you're presenting, but all the details are there for when you're doing the engineering or the scheduling or anything, ordering, of course. I need to know every part, but you don't want to show this to your client. So anyways, that is the basics here. So it's nothing crazy new you have to learn here. It's the ability to add packages to packages. There is, however, another additional feature that you'll see on these once we get into a project. So back to the project. So here we go, this big blank thing over here. And I'm going to, let's start. Let's add some solutions here. So, and again, this is your package explorer. You do have quick filters like you always have, but we also put a little thing here where a button you can click and just go, just show me my solutions. And then here we go. So large conference room, and remember I purposely chose no locations and systems, but I'll say I want 2 of these, 2 large conference rooms. I'm just going to drag it over, and there it goes. And thank you all. That's been my presentation of solutions. No, I'm kidding, but think you should notice something here. Notice it came in collapsed. Well, that's never happened before in our software. You had a product with accessories. It shows everything when it goes. All the accessories display. A package is always splayed out. That's a new project setting that we added, and especially for work with these, but it does apply across all items. And I'm going to show you that. There's actually 2 new settings out here that you should be aware of. Let's go to Project Editor. So this grayed out one here is the one we used to have, which is just collapse all items on Project Editor open. So each time you open a project, it would show collapsed here. But as we were adding items, they weren't collapsing. And that's what this is, collapse all items added to the project editor. And that's just a default. I've got mine set to yes. This new setting is collapse all groups and items when this project editor opens. And that means, if you're grouped by location, like I am over here, or a system or any combination of that, we'll collapse those too. And really all you'll see when you open whatever your group by locations, and be ready to expand those as you see fit. Of course, you still have your keyboard shortcuts for collapsing and expanding at any time, but these are just some new settings here. Again, this one turned into these 2. So I do have this one set to yes. So and I think that will please a lot of you. Even if you're not using it with solutions, when you add packages now, they'll come in looking like this, and you only have to expand them if you want to. But that is not the new feature that I wanted to explain here about these solutions. Let me expand a solution. So in this solution, what we have here, these are all packages down here. I'll just highlight those. So those are all packages, and then I've got some items up here. This item has accessories, you know, so we're nesting further than we used to, but so I've got a bunch of packages in here, data plates, stuff like that. And this one is identical to this, and that's the very key thing here. These are identical, and they're actually linked together. For lack of a better word, it's the one we used in the software. Let me open this package and show you. I know we just saw it out in the catalog, but now it's in a project. You'll see what this is. This solution is linked to one other solution in this project. Changes made to the solution will update, you know, all 2 solutions. So that's what's in here, all of these. But there'll be, you know, more than that sometimes. But every one of these is going to get updated, meaning you change the price of an item. It's going to update on that corresponding item over in the other solutions. And if you delete something out of a solution, it's going to delete from every linked solution that's in here. You do have the option to unlink it at any time. This is irreversible, though. You won't be able to go back. You'll have to, if you change your mind, you'll end up just deleting that solution and cloning the other one again. No big deal there, but just know you can't back away from once you unlink, we say, okay, it's independent now. We thought of that use case as well. So the same is true for the items. I'll just show you. We have a warning. Let's open this one, and we'll take a quick look here. This product is in a solution that's linked to one other solution. Changes made will update all the corresponding items in each solution. So I will talk about a little bit further than that, but and we're talking about fields like description. If you change the part numbers, you change the pricing, of course, the hours, that's what's going to change. There are some unique fields, obviously, still IP addresses, serial numbers, you know, those have to be unique, so that those won't be affected. But just as an example here, and to take the step a little further, like you look here, serial number, I can fill it in, and it did not fill in down here. That makes sense, right? You shouldn't be doing that. But here, let me show you what this really means. So look, I have 2 of the same TVs here. It's like 4 of the same speakers there. But I want to show you what we mean by linking these items. So this particular TV, just so you know, it's not linked to this one. It's linked, oops, I didn't mean to click it, double click it, sorry, let me close it. Go ahead. So it's linked to this one, same position in the other solution. And that would be true for any, if there's 4 more of these solutions, it's linked to this one. And we do keep these in order for you. So you know which one's which. But my point being, if to back or just to show this a little more, like I'm going to change the hours on this top TV in this one to 2 hours versus 1. And when I click out of there, you'll see 2 change there. And if you come down here, oops, I should highlight the whole row, you'll see 2, but the other ones did not change. Now, you can, of course, do update similar items like we've always had to get the rest of them if that's true, or we have the flexibility here to change them individually. And that's going to be true when you have wire runs, say, as accessories. And well, these ones are 100 feet, but the other ones are 200 feet. We understand that you're going to want to be able to change some items within a solution to be different. Now, if the entire other solution is different, of course, you can unlink it and just say, okay, well, I've got everything here. I'm going to unlink it now, and the changes I make won't affect the other ones. You can always do that at any time. You just can't relink. Remember that. I'm going to take it another step further here in this and just replace an item. So again, I'm going to take the second display device in the list. The first one I did hours on. This one I'm going to just replace. So just quickly replace that product. Little warning, link solutions. Replacing in one is going to replace in all. Okay. If you're cool with that, go for it. So we'll go here. We'll pick this top TV or display device, pop it in here. You'll notice it was added here. Again, when we replace, we move to the bottom of the list, but this was replaced here. The other one was taken out, and that happened down here too on this one. So that's the linking that we were describing to you. So once you've got this the way out, now not saying you can't change it. Like I said, I just changed these inside of this project. So it came in as a solution, then I decided to swap a TV out and change the hours, and that's my choice, and I can do that. Well, here's what happens if I then try to add one of these from the catalog again. Well, let's find out. Let's add. Oops, did I double click? No, good. Let's go 4 more of these. Drag them in. What this big message is saying to you is we're letting you know what's happening here. But basically, you're adding a solution, but it already exists in this project, and it may have been modified. To what is different in your catalog. In my case, that's very true. I swapped a TV, I changed the hours. So you have 2 options here. You can clone the existing ones to keep them consistent and keep them linked inside of the product, or you can choose to add from catalog, and all 4 of these will come in unlinked. You don't get to have 2 groups of linkings with the same name. We're not allowing for that. So it's either clone or you can add from catalog, and they will be unlinked. So real quickly, I'll do the clone. So now these cloned, and you can see they have the same icon here next to these. These are all identical. And if I expand this, you'll see there's the TVS swapped out. There's the 2 hours on the other one. They're all identical. Let's do that again. This time, we'll add 2 more. I know, why am I doing this in steps? Just for demonstration. Pull it over. Okay, what are we doing this time? This time, I'm going to choose add from catalog. Now, take a look here. Notice the icon looks different. Let's see over here. It's an unlinked chain, and if you hover over this as a solution, it's unlinked. So now, this one came in exactly from the catalog. See, those 2 exact same, both at an hour, but they are unlinked. So again, if I change something here, it's not going to affect this unlinked one or any of those linked ones. They're independent. That's your choice when adding. So just keep that in mind. We try to be consistent there and make it real easy for you when you make a change in one to change to all, but we also understand that you may not always want that. There's always going to be that case where it is, however many I have in there, 8 large conference room, but one of them slightly different. Okay, great. Add it, then unlink it, make your changes. Very, very quick way to create a project. Let me just get rid of these unlinked ones, please. And see ya. And last but not least, let me just dump in some huddle spaces. I need 15 of these. Pull it in. And again, they add and they're collapsed. They're great. Details behind it, but we don't need to. So there, I've added these. Well, what now? Well, you can run a report. Now, I want to go back to again locations and systems because we talked about that earlier. It's just that a lot of times like, well, I don't know what system I'm going to have or what locations. This one happens to have a few systems in it, but I'm not sure. Well, at any time you can add locations and organize this and do that. But hey, you might not even want to do that. No, I just want to present this as how many of each of these things there are. Let me show you. Reports now. Now, the first simple solution that we added out here is we added a new grouping here. So let's go here to proposal with images. I'm going to expand this. No grouping is now a part of all these default reports. It just never was before. I'm sure many of you created your own definitions. If you've seen any of our examples, new definition and created no grouping ones. I've done that many times over the years because I've wanted an ungrouped report for various reasons. But obviously, when we're trying to present, oftentimes it's by location or it's by system, but maybe not in this case. So if you say no grouping and just run a regular proposal, remember these are going to be collapsed by default. And again, that's on purpose. Don't want to show all that detail. But this one, at least, it's not going to say unassigned. It's just not grouped, and we're running this with no grouping. So there's your cover pages per usual. And now here, we scroll down. We said that there's 6 conference rooms and there's 15 huddle spaces. Nice and summarized. You guys have seen this before with packages and whatnot. Now, the thing to talk about here about these two is how many levels they actually are. I don't want to confuse or trip people up too much, but let's have a quick look back here at this. So here I have a solution. Inside of that solution, I have packages. So that's level. These are everything yellow here is level 2 essentially. We got level 1. We got level 2. We have packages, and then some of these packages may have products with accessories, which takes us down 4 levels. I don't even know if I have any with accessories in here, which could take it down 4 levels. Just so you guys know, we are not going to display the accessories to items in packages on your reports inside of SI. We did not build a 4th level out there. That's pretty granular to show those details to a client, but it will take you down to 3 levels if you insist. If you insist on showing the details of a solution, you'll see the solution name and description first, then you'll see the items or the packages within it, then you'll see the items in the package. You will not see the accessories to the items in the package, but the price will be accounted for. We did that, so no changes have to take place on your reports. It's all the math's all gonna be there. It's just we're not gonna show those accessories to items in a package in a solution, if that makes sense. And my documentation, I did a little graphic out there so you can check that out. But hopefully that's clear to everyone, clear as mud about how these things work. But remember, you can always assign these to locations. And I know this isn't really part of the demo or anything here, but real quickly, let me just add locations. Nobody clown my location list. Sample machine. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floor. That's it. That's all I know. Okay, well, great. Now you can just, if you wanted to, well, I know there's 2 there, and the huddle spaces, these are there. And then on the 2nd floor, I may not even use the 3rd in my example just to speed this along, but take this and assign them. We just hear how hard it is to assign things, and oh, the complaints about that. But there we go. Now I've added these. I don't know what the actual rooms are. These are just room types to me at this point. These are conference rooms and these are huddle spaces. And again, they're solutions, but I called them room types in that case. And that's all I know, the floors. Well, now feel free, of course, to run a report grouped by location. If you want to show the client, first floor, you're getting these. Second floor, you're getting these. Again, a nice summary of that. Or you can still run it ungrouped. Even though I'm grouped here, I don't have to run a report grouped by location should I choose not to. And the last report I'll show you is just it's a quick one that we created for y'all, and it's just called a solution summary. Just 2 groupings here, by location or no grouping. No grouping being the one will probably be the most popular with this scenario. But this report only shows solutions. So if I have other individual items in this project, we're not displaying them on this report. So there's no pricing on this report. There's no totals. Remember that if you guys go to modify this report, it only shows solutions. So if there are even other packages in here that were not in the solution, you're not going to see them. That's all we're trying to show you here is a nice solution summary here. And the intent of this was for our users to say, well, maybe you want to add this to a report group if you happen to sometimes bid in solutions where I'm going to present a proposal that's going to show not only the solutions, but all the individual items and other things that I've added to this job. And at the very end, I might, hey, well, here's a summary of all the solutions we're providing for you, though. Or a sub-report. It can be either added to a group or a sub-report. So that, again, that's just the simple report. So that we added there for you. And that, let me see, is essentially solutions. But I've got a few more things here we can just bear with me that I want to do here while I'm in this project. And of course, we'll answer some questions about anything you have at the end. A few more features I'm going to squeeze in here to show off with the time that we do have. Just color coding in here. We've done color code. You just saw it. Here we go. There's color coding here for items in a solution. If I expand this, you can see that these are accessories. It's a little darker yellow. So we've done color coding for a while and given you the option to pick and choose that. Alternate items, optional items, you can change their colors, right? Well, we expanded that now to apply to OFE, owner furnished equipment items, and also to non-billable. That's what I was trying to remember. And I'll just demonstrate that real quick. No big deal here. Where's something that would be owner furnished Apple TVs? 4 of them. Again, yeah, it's unassigned. Cancel these accessories. We'll make this a simple example. So here, once that collapse, you'll see these come in and they're just with a white background here. They're just a normal item, right? I'll take the top one, open it up real quick. I'll mark it as OFE, owner furnished equipment, and then tab or click away from it. You'll see it has a color now, and then non-billable has a different color too. And of course, you can set these colors. These are just the defaults we threw in here. We're running out of default colors, so we added these because you have a lot of options out there now for this in the control panel. So while I'm here, let's go. And I'll just show you exactly where it is so no one's guessing. It's under your application settings with your other color controls here. There they are, OFE and non-billable. While we were doing that, the OFE and the non-billable, we also added designations for OFE and non-billable in mobile install. So we pull this up here, go here, items, and this Apple TV here is OFE, owner furnished equipment. And it'll either say that or NB for non-billable. So those are the designations we have out there. You used to not know that when your installers are out there. They may be looking, where on the palette is the Apple TV? Well, nope, client provided or owner furnished. So there you go. Okay, a few more things here. Multitasking, Tim mentioned that. Now, I know some of you saying, wait, you could always multitask in SI. Well, you could to a point. You could have multiple projects open at a time, sure. But as soon as, let's say I have 3 projects that are open and I'm working on them on, my 10 different monitors that I have set up in my office, and I've got them spread out, and I was like, oh, I got to create a purchase order for this other project or one of those projects. As soon as you open any other entity, like a purchase order or a task, a service order, all those things that we have in our software, you'd be locked into editing that purchase order, that task, or that service order. You couldn't even edit those projects that you had open. Like completely separate entity over there, but why can't I only, until I save and close or just close out of that other window I opened, the purchase order, for instance, I can't do any other work. So we changed that. Of course, you can still open your projects as you always did, but we removed that restriction for tasks, service orders, purchase orders. And we also did one more thing, and I'll demonstrate that in a second. But another thing that was slowing people down is the calendar. When you would go to the calendar, it always stayed in this interface. Now it is its own window. So you can have the calendar open and still be able to work over here in SI. So that was a big deal. This pops out in its own window now. But for the other demonstration, let me just, and again, don't clown my list, demonstration purposes only. Let me double click one of these and then open another one. And I'm not going to open another one, but you guys get the point. So look at all the stuff that's open, and they're not projects. And you can still go and work on a project. I swear, look, I'm clicking in here. I can do stuff. I'm going to delete 2 huddle spaces. See ya. All right, so there you go. Pretty simple change there, but one that should be exciting for a lot of you, and hopefully will change the way you work. Because and if you find any more things that you would like in their own window, potentially, we have our feedback site, feedback at .dtools.com, and you can put it out there. It's Canny's the platform for that, but give us ideas and we'll see what else you'd like. But that is my presentation of the new features in v15, and we can open this up for Q&A. I want to thank everyone for attending.